I hope you can see this well enough. This is Jim. I'm going to do an instruction on changing and or replacing the blades on your DeWalt 735 planer that could be on your benchtop. I've got the top lid off of mine already. Just thought it would be easier to do that. I've already loosened the three wing nuts up here, just giving you an idea of how to do it here. And actually, I have already changed two of my blades. Basically, actually, what I did, not change them, but I just turned them around. Because when you get the planer, it's a two-sided blade. And of course, there's three knives in the unit. But they're pretty easy to change, and I'm just going to show you here how to do that. Once you get the top off and you get those red wing nuts out of the way, then this just kind of wiggles out of up here. Well, it came out easier the first time. There it is. And you get that out of the way. Then, of course, you can see your blade down here. Now, like I said, I've already done two of them. So all I need to do is rotate this and be careful, because even though it needs to be replaced, it's still sharp enough to cut you. So just be careful with it. Okay, get that around there. And then it's got these eight hex head or star head actually bolts. And of course you use the tool that comes with the planer. And they're a little bit tight, okay, but they're not horribly tight. And keep that in mind when you put it back together too. And what I like to do on things like this is loosen them in a definite pattern, so there's no way that it's going to bind up either when you're taking it off or when you're putting it back on. So I'm going out from the inside. Actually, I should have gone from the outside in to take it loose. That's okay. So, wow, that one was a little tighter. So I've got them loose. And now I'm going to cheat a little bit and use my star bit for my drill. And I am going to start on the outside this time. Pull them out. Make sure you grab it and don't let it go. Set it aside in a place where it's not going to disappear on you. Okay. Get these out pretty quickly. And by doing it with your drill, it goes so much faster. I did the first knife without it, and it took a good 2 minutes longer than it did on the second one. So I'm doing the third one this way so that it's easy enough to see what's going on. All right, so now I've got that loose. One thing I'm going to do when I get it out of here is I'm going to mark it so that I know which is which. But see, with the magnet, you just reach that right down in there and pull that right out of there. And I also cleaned up my other two. I'm going to clean this one up too before it goes back in. All right, so you got that out of the way. Grab your knife blade, holding it very carefully. I'm going to mark this. Just mark this with some orange marker. It tells me that I've already used this. Okay. Set that aside. Then I'm going to take a black marker and just mark the other side. And there's one mark, two mark. I've been doing 3 marks on them just to make sure that I know that it's there. That way it's ready for next time. Okay, then where did my... Then take this, you can set it back down in there and it can go in the wrong direction. So you have to pull it out to turn it around, set it right back in, set it on those. It's got some little nubs right there that go into the holes right there. So you just line them up, set it in, and you notice that it wiggles a little bit. Okay, this blade will slide back and forth just a little bit so that if you get a nick in one of them, you can slide it and reposition. All right, now comes the fun part, putting the screws back in. Actually, you know what? I need to get this back in on top. But like I said, I'm going to clean it a little bit, so I'm going to pause this. And then I'm back at it here using the placement tool. Set that there. Get a couple of screws started. Come on. Okay, there's one started. And these are a little tricky to start, and it's not exactly the most convenient place. That one doesn't want to go. Twist it backwards to get the threads lined up just right. There it was, I think. No. That one doesn't want to start. Wouldn't you know it? I tell you how to do something and then it doesn't work for me. Okay, I'm going to try a different screw because that one's just not working right. And in fact, I'm going to try a different hole too. And that one goes right in. Okay, so it's started. And now I'll start the rest of them. Piece of cake, right? Nothing to it. There's no actual vertical adjustments to it, just that one horizontal adjustment, just in case you get the a nick in the blades, then you can adjust one of them, and you don't have to replace all three of them right away. You can adjust them and get rid of that nick. And that one started right up in that same hole. How about that? Okay, get this out of my way. And keep it handy just in case I drop it. And by the way, I did unplug this unit before I started on this, just in case you're interested. All right, so then put it back on. Now I've got this set at 11. It's on my Makita drill here. You can't really get it from there. But anyway, I've got it set on 11 out of a total of 22. So just get it going there. Like I said, do a pattern where it's not going to bind in any way as you go. And we'll do all 8 of them. And then I'm going to go back in here and turn each one. It'll only turn about 1/8 of a turn. Well, it's not even 1/8 of a turn, I don't think. And actually that is tighter than this blade was on there. The other two seemed like they were just a little tighter. But this one is pretty loose, or was pretty loose. So I'm not sure exactly how tight they need to be, but you know, the first two were pretty tight. The first one especially was pretty tight. All right. Okay. Then while you got it open, grab yourself a little paintbrush and sweep the dirt out of it. You might as well do all the maintenance while you're in here. I don't know that it makes a lot of difference that you do this, but it's not hurting anything for sure. And that, okay, be careful, because remember, these blades are sharp. Okay, take a piece of wood in there, because I won't care if I scratch it. All right, back in there again with the paintbrush. Get it cleaned out a little bit. All right. Okay, and then we slip your guard back in there. See, it goes right back in here, kind of fits in, and then pushes into the dust extraction. There it went. Okay, and the holes line up. You'll notice that right away. If the holes don't line up, you haven't got it in the right place. So that's basically all there is to it. It's a pretty simple thing to change out those blades. And you do the same thing, whether you're actually changing out the blades to new blades, or just like I did, turning them around, because like I said, they're double-sided, and there's 3 of them to do, and once you get it up like that, they turn pretty easily. But like I said, they are, even though it's a little bit dull and probably not planing like it did to start with. In fact, I know mine wasn't planing like it did to start with, and I actually had a nick on mine that was showing up on a lot of the wood that I was cutting. So that's all there is to it. And then, you know, I mean, it's a good time to go ahead and clean up everything while you're at it. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And I was using my safety goggles. I don't know if you really need to on this, but I did, because it's a habit I've gotten into. Just use them all the time, and it works better. Hey, thanks for watching. Like my video, give me the thumbs up, and we will see you in the next one.